Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Parsley, your art teacher. Today we're going to create some self-portraits. Self-portraits mean it is a picture of yourself. So if you need to go take a quick look in the mirror and see what your face looks like, you can do that. You won't have too many details on your face though, because you're going to be creating your portrait with a mask. Everybody is having to wear masks nowadays, so here's a little sample of a boy portrait, and he's got his mask on. I am hoping that this project is a little bit of a challenge for you, but not too hard. Don't get discouraged. It doesn't need to look perfect. And if you make any mistakes, make sure, well, first of all, make sure you're using a pencil, but you can always erase. And don't get focused on little details. Mistakes happen all the time, and this is one of your first art projects. So I want you to just go about it as it's a practice. You can always try again another time, okay? Today you're gonna need one piece of paper. If you have blank paper is better. You're also gonna need some crayons, a pencil, hopefully with an eraser. If you have a marker, you can use a marker to outline your pencil lines to make them stand out. Like on my person, I went over my pencil line so that you can see the edge of his face, the edge of his shirt, and that stood out really well with the marker. And then you can even use marker for coloring in a few details. We're not gonna use marker for everything, okay? Just the details on the mask and even the eyes if you would like. Markers can look really messy easily if you're not careful about how you apply them. So if you're coloring with marker today, like I said, you're only gonna use, sorry, my lights went out again. There we go. You're only gonna use the marker for the mask. When you're applying your marker, you're going to color in straight lines right next to each other, okay? If not, if you color super fast, it's gonna look like your marker's running out, and like I said, it'll end up looking messy. When you're done with your marker, always make sure that you hear the snap. That way you know your marker is closed and it will not go bad quickly. Let's get started. The first thing you need to do is start out in pencil. I'm gonna start in marker. That way you can see my lines better. If you start out in pencil though, you can always erase. So start with pencil today. The first thing I want you to do is to grab a pencil and a paper. Your paper should be long ways up and down, which is what we call portrait. You're gonna use pencil to make sure that you can erase your lines and change them if you need to. I'm gonna use marker, that way you can see my lines really well. I'm gonna find the middle of my paper, and then I'm gonna put my hand there, and I'm gonna mark one little dot above my tip of my finger, and one dot below the bottom of my hand. That way I have two marks to show me how big I want the face to be. Your hand is gonna be smaller than mine, but I wanna make sure that your hand will fit inside the oval of your face. Our shape is not our face is not a perfect circle, it's an oval shape. So from here to here, I'm gonna draw like the shape of a letter C, or you could say a sideways rainbow, to connect those two. So from one line to the other. I'm gonna do the same thing coming around the other side. So now it's gonna be like a backward C or another sideways rainbow. If you will draw it with your finger a couple times first, that lets your brain get practice on which way you're wanting your hand to draw. There we go. Now, it does not need to be perfect. If you need to erase, erase. Just make sure your hand fits inside there so that you have enough room for eyes and all the extra details, okay? The sides of the face are out here, I'm gonna go down and in a little bit and do 2 lines for a neck. At the bottom of the neck, I'm going to make a smiley face. And so this is gonna show the curve of the shirt that goes around your neck. At this edge, I'm gonna go out and curve down to show my shoulders. On this one, I'm gonna go out this way and curve down. Try not to make it too pointed at the edge because your shoulders are more round than pointed. If you would like, you can add 2 little lines in here that will show where your arms start. Then we're gonna go back up to the top and we're gonna start adding some details. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a mask. This is gonna be a self-portrait with a mask. So about the middle of the face, I want you to draw a tiny dot. And this is gonna give you a guideline to go to the left and to the right to make a mask shape. And then above that would be your nose bridge and your eyes. You should wear a mask covering your nose, so we're not gonna see the end of the nose. I'm gonna make a little bit of a slanted line so you can see that the nose is beginning, but my mask is covering it. We won't see a mouth. And then to the sides of the top of the nose bridge, I'm gonna do 2 rainbow shapes. One on this side, one on this side. Try and make them as similar as you can so that your face looks symmetrical, which means you have the same size eye on one side as the same on the other. I'm gonna do a line underneath connecting that. Then inside your eye, you have the white space of your eye. Then you'll have the iris of the eye, which is the colored part of your eye. It might be brown, it might be blue or green. And then inside that part, you have a small pupil, which is colored black. So we'll do this again over here. The iris, rainbow shape, the pupil, another rainbow shape, and you color in that last one. You can give yourself some eyelashes if you'd like. They make your eyes stand out and they also protect your eyes. Give yourself some eyebrows. I like to draw my eyebrows. It's like a rainbow shape, but I do a couple little marks with it so it looks like the hairs of your eyebrows. Eyebrows can really tell what you're feeling. Sometimes they make you look happy, sometimes they can make you even look angry. To the sides of the eyes, you should have ears. So I'm gonna do a skinny oval on both sides. And then your hair. Your hairline can be done in many different ways. I have a little sample sheet that I'm included in your assignment, so you can pause it on this, or you can look at this picture separately in the file that I've included in your Schoology assignment to get some ideas of your hair. You can draw your hair up if you're a girl. You can draw it down, and you would do it according to the length of your own hair. Maybe you have curly hair. Maybe you have, maybe you're a boy that has curly hair or short, spiky hair. So there's a couple different ideas for how to draw hair. You do not have to use these ideas. You are free to do it on your own, but I want to make sure that you don't do your hair where it looks like you have one skinny strand of hair coming down and one skinny strand of hair coming down on the other side. Your hairline will go from one ear all the way to the other ear. Now, if you are a girl and you have long hair that is down, it will come all the way down to whatever length it is. So if your hair is as long as your chin, then it would stop about here. If your hair is about to your shoulders, it stops here. Maybe your hair is even longer, but it can look like it's going behind your back of your shirt. For hair, I'm gonna draw a girl style hair with this one, and I'm gonna make a line going across so it looks like she has some hair in front of her forehead. And then, let's see, make a curved line so that you can see all of this space would be hair. I'm gonna do another line this way for some more bangs. And I'm gonna draw it to where she has a ponytail. So I'm gonna go up, and I'm running out of room at the top of my page, so I'm gonna start curving down. Now, if I leave it like this, it looks like it's just one little strand of hair. So instead, I'm gonna mimic that same line. And then these lines followed each other's path, so I'm gonna connect them with a little zigzag line. So that makes it look like we have more than just one strand of hair. I like to, with my marker, add a few lines that kind of shows the direction the hair is flowing. And I did that up here too. So now I have my person and she is ready to be decorated. Something that I like to do with the mask to make it stand out a little bit is to create my mask and color it with markers so that my ink is really vivid. It gives you a much brighter color than some crayons will. And then I'm gonna color in my skin tone. You can find the right shade of crayon to match your skin tone. You want to be careful not to make yourself orange. You want to do a brown probably. A lot of us are really just shades of brown, some darker, some lighter. So pick what you want, use a lighter pressure to create that skin color. I'll show you here on the neck. If you want it to go darker, then you'll use a harder pressure. If you needed a darker shade, then you can even pick a darker brown. Nobody is as white as this piece of paper, so make sure you're adding some kind of color. Here's a peach color that might be good if you have lighter skin, but everybody has a little bit of color to themselves. Be sure to get creative and express yourself on your mask. You can make any kinds of patterns or designs that we learned about last week. You would color making different patterns, so something alternating, colors alternating, polka dots, stars, hearts, anything that you want, stripes on here. You can also decorate your shirt doing the same thing. I have a sample here that I drew of a boy. And so I did a striped shirt and I did some stars on my mask, and then we'll talk about the background in a little bit. But for now, go ahead and start coloring. Remember to pause this video if you need to. Okay, so I've finished my self-portrait, and of course it has my mask. My mask was colored with markers to make that stand out and pop. I even colored the eyes with markers. The rest I did with crayon using the techniques that we learned last time. So I did lighter pressure and a harder pressure to give myself some value in my page. I did some patterns. I also used different directions for my lines. So on my background, instead of coloring the sky or the grass, which you can do, I created some radiating lines. And radiating means it looks like it's coming out from it. So using my center of my face as a point, like it's a circle or a sun, then everything comes out from the center. Not coloring over the face, but starting after my face and going out towards the edge of the page. Some of them hit the edge of the page, some of my lines do not, okay? And I used several different colors that coordinate well together. I used some blue and green, so those are the cool color family. Blue, green, and purple go well together. I hope you guys enjoy making your self-portrait. Feel free to change it up however you would like, and share your pictures with me. Thank you.